Hi guys, welcome to Classic Rock and Country Music Facts and Trivia. Thank you so much for being here. Today's video is on Van Halen. Once again, I know I'm getting in a rut. I need to add some more bands and stuff, but I'm just finding some of these things and they're just really interesting to me. Anyway, today's video is on the project that made David Lee Roth quit the band. Take a look. At the end of the 70s, rock and roll had started to look bland for the first time since the 50s. Even though bands like Aerosmith and Led Zeppelin were still able to fill up stadiums around the world, they seemed to be getting too big for their audience to take seriously anymore, feeling more like musical gods among men. Even though hard rock was still flying off the shelves, it took Van Halen to make the genre feel alive again. Taking cues from the classic rock and heavy metal, the guitar riffs of Eddie Van Halen sent shockwaves through the music community. Instead of playing the usual way, Eddie would play with both hands on the fretboard, resulting in a flurry of notes that opened up the playing field for any artist willing to play a mile a minute. Outside of Eddie's intricate licks and solos, the band had an ace in the hole with David Lee Roth. Taking cues from artists like Jim Dandy from Black Oak, Arkansas, Roth was one of the most energetic frontmen ever to grace the stage, feeling at home whenever the spotlight was on him and turning every concert into his personal circus. As the band started to hone their craft on their albums, though, Roth had started to take issue with how Eddie was constructing the songs. Since Eddie had rediscovered his love of playing the piano, many of his guitar tracks fell by the wayside, with tracks like "And the Cradle" were rock-dominated by the distorted piano sound. Now, even though the band would learn to compromise so everyone would be happy, Eddie put his foot down when it came to making the album in 1984. Recording in his 5150 home studio, Eddie was adamant about keyboards having a prominent role in the record, which resulted in some of the biggest songs of their career, like "Jump" and "I'll Wait." While Roth would grin through his teeth for most of the sessions, he would find some time to let loose when recording his first solo LP, Crazy from the Heat. Instead of filling out the project with originals, many of the songs on the record were a collection of covers that renewed Roth as a performer, turning songs like "Just a Gigolo" and "California Girls" into some of the most celebrated songs of the summer. Having no problem working on his own, Roth would soon turn his attention to a solo career, no longer wanting to be confined to what Eddie's songs sounded like. Shortly after the tour of 1984, Roth had a bitter falling out with Eddie, leading to the band soldiering on with Red rocker Sammy Hagar, while Roth released his solo debut, "Eat 'Em and Smile." Now, looking back on the time, though, Eddie thought that the band started breaking up when Roth went solo, saying, "At first, Crazy from the Heat was great because Roth laid off me a bit. Little did I know that he was testing the waters." Even though both musicians weren't on speaking terms for the longest time, they would eventually reconcile in the 2000s, with Roth returning for a full tour with Eddie's son Wolfgang, filling in for Michael Anthony. Although "Crazy from the Heat" may have been a good time for Roth to make, the division between him and his guitar legend partner had already begun to fracture. Call me crazy, but I think the dumbest thing David Lee Roth ever did was leave Van Halen. Legendary band could have done so much more. Like Sammy Hagar, saw him in concert with Hagar. Great concert. David Lee Roth is the voice of Van Halen. Always will be. But it's like, almost like he went from rock and roll to wanting to do Vegas, and it's just, and I guess Van Halen always had weird relationships with their lead singers. They even had a rough one with Sammy Hagar after a while. And who do you believe in the arguments? One side or the other, Anyway, that's all I have for you. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Please don't forget about classic TV facts and trivia. Check it out. Have a great day, guys. God bless. Praying for you.